Hey, hello there. This is Codorus Valley Traction Company. Yeah, I'll be doing a little video update. Show you a little bit what's going on here. I've been messing with some low voltage lighting. I had posted some pictures up to the web on our website, and this is the building that I've been working on. Of course, I got the interior in this one here. That's a little grocery store. And I just finished up one here. It's a little antique store. Not a whole lot of light in there. But I'm getting to be showing them a lot of wires. But enough about that for the moment. What I wanted to go over with you is your sources of light, your power supplies. Now, what I've been using is the telephone chargers. 5 volts DC coming from them. And they work fine for all the incandescent lights that I have. Also work fine for the LEDs. Except the ones that come on the roll. We have 3 of them together. I think they're a 3220 or 3258 or something like that. I got these on eBay from a gentleman. And I have a whole roll of them, a couple hundred of them on a roll. And he already has them soldered up. They're set up and marked for 12 volts, plus and minus, of course the red being the plus. And they're ready to use just as they are, designed for 12 volts. But you can run them on 5 volts, like I'm doing. However, I ran into a problem with that. They won't light on phone chargers. It's a type of LED, but I had bought a 5 volt power supply on eBay. It's good for 10 amps, and it's small. And what this one and the phone chargers have in common is that they're what they call switching power supplies. In other words, there's a transformer in here just to get the voltage down. And then it has a voltage regulator. It constantly turns on and off, on and off, on and off. And it will not light these because it's what they call power wave modulation. It's a long term, but anyway, it won't light this type of LED. So, what was my solution? Went through my junk box and I found just an ordinary, as soon as I can find it here, 6 volt plug-in transformer. Pardon my mess, but everything's a work in progress here. And I set that to the side, but it's a 6 volts AC. And I set it here someplace. Anyway, I'm not sure. But the output 6 volts AC. So I took that and hooked that up to this. And they work great. Yeah, the low voltage, so you can run the AC to it, or you need a smooth DC with a constant voltage, in other words, a pure DC. Let me look over here a minute, where I have a habit of throwing things. But anyway, don't you just love places like this? There it is. There it is. Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyway, I'll get a picture of it up later. But I took that 6 volt AC and what they call a bridge rectifier. Getting a little complicated for that, but it's just to give a DC, because when I put the 6 volts AC onto this, and I have 2 of these in this building, it looked fine to the naked eye. Always does. I took my iPhone and put it up there to photograph the thing. I thought, let's just see what it looks like. So I'll put the phone over on the video. And it's flickering. Because of the HD capabilities of the iPhone and the new cameras, they will pick up that flickering because if it's an AC, it's a broken signal. It's only using one half of it. So I put a rectifier in, which just very simply, it's a bunch of diodes in there. And this particular one is a 25 amp rectifier. I've gotten 10 of them some time back. But as you can see, it's got one turned around here. So they're marked AC, so I bring the 6-volt AC in across here. And then this one's marked plus. This is plus DC and minus DC. For those of you who are familiar with the rectifiers, that's what you need. And when I'm hooked up with this, no more flicker. So you can run these on AC or just put a bridge rectifier in and you can run it on DC with that, and no flicker that the video cameras will pick up. Okay, enough said about that. You probably run into. Now, what am I using for lights? Well, the rest of them, I got these packs on eBay. Now, it's probably not too good to see here. I'll have to open this one up. Show you how they come. They're very, very small. They're what they call a 0402 LED. And this company sells them. This is a warm white LED. But they come with resistors. I'll have to pick those up later. And they come with shrink tube to, when you solder the resistor on the circuit, you can put the shrink tube over it and cover all the bare wires. But these things are super, super small. Very, very small. And they work so nice. There's 10 of them in the pack. That's the wire end. See, you can't even see which end is which. But I don't know how close I can get with the camera, but those are the LEDs. I'm not sure it's focusing on there, but I'll come back out a little bit with it. But there's 10 in the pack, and they keep giving you price breaks because it was free shipping. Now, so the shipping costs already there. It ended up $5.99 for 10 of these. So an LED, a resistor, and the shrink tube, which is still in the pack here, 59 cents a piece. Cheap enough, but they are bright. So I'm running them on 5 volts, and they will work off the phone charger or 5-volt switching power supply. No problem. So you got a phone charger, it's got a broken wire on the end. Just cut the end out, and you'll have a red and a white wire in there, or a red and a black and a white. The two heaviest ones are your power going on the plug. The black one's going to be your negative, and the white one's going to be your plus. And if you hook it up backwards, you can't harm them. Just switch it around. That's all you got to do. But I took those, and I got some little... Okay, some of you older folks, like me, recognize these as Campbell lampshades. Now, I found that Miniatronics puts them out now. It's just a little brass lampshade. They come 10 to a pack. They're about 50 cents a piece. And I see that Miniatronics has them, and some other people have them out too. And I also found that Shapeways makes these things in plastic. Now, those are a lot cheaper. You can buy just those, and you get 24 of them for about $5-6, $10 tops. I forget the prices. But those, and you use the LEDs with them. The LEDs don't run hot, especially with the low voltage. So you could use those for lampshades also. What I did with those is, I just took and painted the inside of it white. Let me move this light around here a little bit. That may help a little bit. But to paint the inside of it white. And the outside will eventually be painted green, like you saw those goosenecks lamps hanging out in the green. But then I took these miniature LEDs and glued them into that. I'll get one here. There we go. Very, very fine wire. But that's what it come out with. There's an LED glued into that. I don't know if we can see that picking it up or not. I'm hoping it is. If I keep it here long enough that it'll focus on it. Glue that in. Use white glue. You can use ACC, super glue, whatever you want. Once the glue is dried, I took and bent it at 90 degrees and add some glue up here on the wire then. So it keeps it bent at an angle. So now I can take this and insert it through the wall of a building, and I have a light over the door. I'll just paint everything dark green. Now, I'll hook this up for you here and show you what it comes out like. Get my jumpers out here. I'm going to hook it up to my switching power supply, my 5-volt supply here. Okay, this is the positive side, so we'll make the yellow the positive. And that will hook up to the red wire here. Trick is getting it to hook up. This thing stay on there. Now we'll take this and put it to the negative. These are very, very fine wire. Because the shades are so cheap, the lights are so cheap, and mess one up, it's not going to set you back a lot of money. Okay. Now let's try this again. Yep. Yellow is my positive. That goes on the red wire. That's hooked. And the black is a negative. And that goes right here. Alright. Now let's see what happens. It's not coming on. Why not? Okay. I gotta mess with that. Why do you want to quit working on me now? Oh, there it is. Oh my. I don't have a good connection up here. It's trying to light. It's trying to light. This is like a needle in a haystack. Trying to get this thing to hook up just right. And of course it fell out. Uh-huh. You'll have this. I'll just hold it on there. Bear with me, folks. First video I've ever tried like this. There we go. It didn't like that. I gotta see what's going on here. Okay. Alright. I blew that because I didn't put the resistor in. That's what happens if you don't use a resistor with an LED. Okay? So we will rebuild those. I got plenty here. And the resistor, I have one laying here, but since I just got this out of this pack, we'll just take a resistor out. Now I usually put those on the negative side. So we'll take the negative side here. We'll clip on to the resistor here. Alright. Now then, get another one here. And I'm going to get another jumper. Probably all sitting at home going, does this guy really know what he's doing? Yeah, most of the time I do. But I also want to go over some this interiors with you. And hit you up on that. Okay. Now let's get another light bulb here. One that I haven't blown yet. I'll tell you. There we go. So how's everybody doing out there? I was like, yeah, it's March. You know what's going on. March 2020. Get the housework done, and then have some fun. All right. But since these things are only 59 cents a piece complete, I'm not too worried about messing them up. All right, so now we just take this. I don't know where my other jumper is. So I will hold it in my hand. I get 2 more jumpers. Usually have them laying all over the place. Here we go. Hold this. Hold this. And hook it up here. Maybe. If you don't drop it again, dummy. Alright, maybe I gotta cut some of this video out. There we go. Alright. We're getting there. Help if you turn it on. There we go. That's what it looks like. Put the resistor in there. And that's what it looks like. That's all done. A nice focus light. Beautiful light off of it. I have no complaints over that. Yep. So, that's that part. Now, LEDs are so great. Alright. So that's a candle shade. Paint the inside white and glue those little 402 LEDs in there. Make sure you use the resistors. Those resistors are good to run them up on 12 volts DC. And of course I'm running it on 5 volts just to keep the light down somewhat. So if you're running it on 12 volts, you want to take the voltage you want to lose, which is, say you want to lose 10 volts and run it on 2 volts. The voltage you want to lose is 10 volts. So, and at 20 milliamps. So take the 10 volts and divide it by 0.02. That's what, there's 1,000 milliamps in an amp. So 20 milliamps is 0.020. So divide the 10 volts by 0.02. And that will tell you the size of the resistor you want to use. And that goes for any LED lighting. If you're running it on 18 volts or 16 volts off a transformer, you can do the same thing. The voltage that the LED is to run at, subtract that from your supply voltage. That difference is what you divide by 0.02, and that will tell you how big of a resistor you need in the circuit. So if you're going to run these at 5 volts and want full brightness, gee, you only have to drop 3 volts. So that's 3 volts divided by 0.02, and you will get a brighter LED than what I am. You'll probably get darn near full brightness out of it. But you will get full brightness out of it using it that way. Okay. Just a quick update on what's happening here. I can take you around here a little bit. So I got to stop the video here and I got to move the camera. Alright, now I'm going to be moving the camera around here a little bit. I got it in my hand. What I'm doing here to hook it up to the layout, since all the buildings are removable, and of course you got that mess of wire in there. But I have ends on these. I find an end here that I already have done. Let's see. I'm looking for an end that I have done here. I cut them off already because I got to use new ends. What I'm doing is using K&S brass tubing for my lighting hookup. Now, as you see here, I have 2 tubes sticking up here. Now that's where my power is going to go in. What I do is I take the wiring, and on the end of the wire, I have 3 30-second tubing that I put on the end of the wire. And I wish I had piece on here, because I knew I had one of them with it on. There it is. Okay. Now let's see if we can see this. Yeah, it's 3 30-second tubing. So I just strip back the wire, stick it down in the tubing a little bit, and with a pair of pliers, close it down tight. Now, since I'm going to be running 2 different voltages, I'll be running my 5 volts from the switching power supply, and I'm also going to run 5 volts from my 6 volt AC supply to run the strip lights. I'm going to have to use 4 different sizes. So I have that size to start with, and then I picked up some K&S tubing. You want to get the brass tubing, not the aluminum, but it's different sizes. So I have the 3 30-second already there for the wires. Oh, we're having fun here. I have the 3 30-second for the wires. And this is the size I currently am putting, this is the size I'm currently putting down into the layout. And this one is 1/8 inch. Okay. So I got the 1/8 inch brass tube. There, we're getting a focus. Of course, it's K&S. Picked this up at Hobby Lobby. And then the next size, which is this one. And this, as you can see, focus. So this is 5 30-second. And then I have the next size tubing. It just goes to the 3/16. All right. So I'm going to put 4 different size tubings in there. Pull that one out that I have in there now. I set up. You see, this building foundation's already set up for them. They're already set up for what I was going to do. And of course, this foundation also has the tubing in place, and they're already soldered to wires underneath. So I'll pull one of those out over here and go to the next size, and then the next size, and then the next size. So there'll be 4 tubings coming up there. And each of my wires is going to be going up in size and keep it straight so that you can't put the wrong one in the wrong hole. How's that go? Something like that. So anyway, a little bit of an update. Hope you understand it. And eventually we'll get this one done a little bit. And then I've got to get this running again. I got a few things to do on here. I got damaged a couple shows moving it around. But then we'll get it running. And when I get these all in place and get them lit, we'll have a good old time. Oh yeah, one more thing. I was asked about interiors and what's in there. And what am I using? Okay. If you look on eBay for John's Business Interiors, you'll find he sells super detailed sheets for $4.50. Now this is basically what the sheets look like. I've already cut this out. This one is for the grocery store that I've done. And no, none of those displays show toilet paper. I've been asked about that a couple times. He also sent along the shades for inside the windows to close some off. You can keep the colors on there. You can cut that off. You just have to cut everything out very carefully with an X-Acto or a very sharp blade. It's on photo paper. And just paste them up. What I'm using is right here, Eileen's Quick Set Tacky Glue. And that works great for working with this because it's thicker, it sets up quick, it works great. Some of his other pieces, this is one of his sheets. And we get it to focus. There we go. Relics and antique stores, hardware store, interior. They can be cut and shaped any way you want to. Makes freestanding counters. It's great. Hotel interiors with bedrooms and things. There's a second sheet for that, for the hotels and bedrooms. And use it for interiors for people, for homes. And another sheet for living rooms. John Huber's the name. Let's see if I can get this up here. He has direct mail. Oh, great. Right here we go. John Huber. There's a Gmail address. And there's his phone number. It's $4.50 a sheet. They are beautiful. Say they're full color and printed on photo paper. You can contact them that way or go directly on eBay. Also here, hobby shop time. There's the interior for Train Shop. So he's got quite a selection set up there. And if you find things online, you can also use them, print them out on photo paper. I printed out some carpets and floors to be used on just plain paper. So it isn't glossy, like rugs and things like that. I printed those out, and we use them for floors. I have another one here that I printed out offline. Oh, yeah, there we go. Some different ones that I found on Pinterest. And got them copied over. I should look at it this way. Let me turn the camera. And you can do that. Look on Pinterest or any of the other sites that show interiors. Even dollhouse interiors will work well for this. You can go with them. So anyway, that's a lengthy one here. Video update. But Codorus Valley Traction Company. Making progress, staying sequestered. Take care. Love you, folks. See ya.